2025. Let's
Can
do
you
this.
believe it?
Holidays are over. Kids are back at school
Thank
and
goodness.
kinder.
Oh my goodness.
Do you feel a little bit more like yourself now you're
feel-
back in routine? Because you do like routine.
and holidays were rogue. Actually, we should start with an introduction. Hi everyone for listening. I'm Leonie.
Oh, my favourite bit. We are out of practice. And I'm Liv. Nice to be with you.
It's been a minute talking about routine. So, yes, I felt holidays, and we spoke a little bit about holidays in the last episode as well that we did, but holidays, it feels so rogue because, I mean, it's great, family time, you're away, beach time, lots of family
A time of the other unpaid job, right?
Yes.
Because you're still making meals.
Yes.
You're still wiping bums. You're still washing clothes.
Yes.
It's just without, for us, our paid jobs, obviously.
Non-stop. And the thing is, I feel like Jules and I probably have the most tension over the holidays.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
like...
I remember talking about in the last episode, it's the highest rate of, separation for our family law team. I work at a law firm, for those who are new to the podcast, and that team just booms come January and February because, there is so much tension in families.
Oh, so much.
It is hard work.
You really realise that the juggle is so real. I mean, my kids had 2 months off. We finished in early December, which was just like, I'm like, come on, team. Who came up with this idea? Talk about putting the pressure on us poor parents.
I'm just reflecting on a message you sent me too recently. We caught up over January and you sent me a text after saying, are you okay? Your energy seemed really flat, just checking in.
Yeah.
And now I think about it, I was just freaking exhausted from looking after my kids. I was exhausted. I was flat because, you just, tell you what, you got to love your kids' names, don't you? I can't, the amount of times I have yelled those names. In fact, one of my girlfriends has lost her voice from screaming at her children. She's now needing to seek medical treatment for her throat and her voice box purely as a result of yelling at her children.
Oh my God. I would love to be her neighbour. Let's be real. That is, wow. Well, shout out to whoever that is.
We made it.
You're probably listening.
Love you, babe.
So tell me about, so our little Liz, grade 1 this year.
Yeah.
For the
we know what we're doing.
boys.
We know what we're doing. This ain't our first rodeo.
Yeah, right. Have you sussed out prep parents? Did they look lost? How was it?
Yeah, no, they've all settled in. There's no new parents, but there are new children in our class. So parents we haven't met before.
Yes.
I'm hopeful of making some new friends.
Yeah.
I didn't put as much effort into that last year as perhaps what I would have liked. So, hopefully there's more opportunity to do some meet and greet because there's 100 kids in our prep year.
Wow,
so there's plenty of parents. And if you're not crossing paths, and I'm not always at school pickup. So, and if I am, I'm literally running to get to the next drop off and pick up. I don't really engage. I'm literally that hurricane that rolls into each of the pickups. So what about you? How did Noah go?
So good. Very excited to be back, which was fantastic. It was so cute seeing the new families sort of in the prep families. Although to be fair, a lot of the families I've known them because they did the ELC program, so I kind of knew them around the school. There's still a few new ones, and particularly the ELC 3, because our ELC building and our prep grade 1 building are sort of next to each other. For those listening who are like, what the hell is ELC? It's early learning. It's essentially like kinder. Pre-prep, and it's at the school. Some schools offer it. So so that was really cool because you can sort of see people be like, where do I go?
And I know at your school too, they have these beautiful little uniforms and their hats and their blazers, and you're just like, oh my goodness, bless, you are the cutest little munchkins. And what happened to ours? Do you do before and after photos, like first day versus last day?
I had it.
Well,
I mean, I've got them somewhere. I just haven't put them side by side.
When you put them side by side, it is mind blowing. The growth, the change, the maturity, even just of their features, let alone the height growth that they do. It's literally the cutest. So you should do the comparison.
I'd love to know how much Noah did grow last year because
a metre. I know full well.
My eldest, to those listening, is quite a tall boy. In fact, I think he looks like more of a grade 3. And I'm like, you use that height to good use. Don't you ever slump over or feel like you need to be smaller. I
will be his height mentor, given I'm a very tall female standing at 186 centimetres, very proudly. And my mum and dad did exactly the same thing. Shoulders back, stand tall. If I ever slouch, it was like they'd be like, stand up.
Yeah, my mum used to
And
do
that
the
helped,
same.
and shared it as a gift. So
Yes.
whether you're female or male, people can obviously be worried or about what their attribute is that they might be picked on for.
Yeah,
but it's only a good thing.
It's any difference, right? I mean, think about high school. It's just, or even primary school, any difference that you might have. I mean, difference can come in lots of shapes and sizes, but you feel awkward about, right? Because you just want to fit in. I want to know, okay, so we're in February and I want to know, well, I'm excited to tell you what I've embarked on as far as a wellness thing. And you probably already know, so I'm excited to tell everyone else who's listening.
20 and 25 year of health, is that you?
Well, not year of health. We're doing 28 days of health.
Okay. That's a start.
That's all I can commit to. Okay. So I am doing Feb-fast, everyone, at the moment. I pray for me because at the moment I've been doing well. I've only got a few more days left. But I do feel it has been a bit of a game changer. The only time I've ever done a detox is when I've been pregnant. Is that bad? Forced
detox.
A forced detox, but outside of that, I'm no, I like to. And we love a drink. We love to socialise. Even at home, love to have a wine with hubby. It's not, it's part of
alcohol
our lifestyle.
is a feature of our lifestyle.
Big time.
And how we wind down.
Yes.
And how we use it to socialise.
To socialise. And that's why, for those of you who are doing Feb-fast as well, shout out to you.
Well done.
I'm on that track with you. But also, we had to be quite deliberate in this. So it all came about because towards the back end of last year, I was just feeling so gross as, Christmas period, etc., etc. And I remember even Jules was trying to get into a fitness routine, but so many things pulling us every which way. And particularly Jules, I'm conscious of because I have the privilege of being home during the day at certain times and I can fit in a 20-minute home workout. I'm currently doing Fit As, the Transform Challenge, little things like that. But it's 20 minutes with a little bit of dumbbells and that's me done. With a full-time job, I mean, you could attest to this, Liv.
It's
when
so
you're going
hard
into
to
an
find
office,
time.
to find the time.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that with Jules and it seemed to drop off. And I said, it doesn't feel fair to you. He's got his little gym set up in our garage, but, he might get there 2 or 3 times a week. And I said, you know what, as much as we are eating well, I'd like to let's really, knock this over and let's just go all out, clean, 28 days, no alcohol. What I was doing more recently in the last couple of months is I've been noticing that when I drink wine, so much sugar, I don't feel, I mean, of course, we know this, we don't feel great because of the sugar of so many years of drinking.
I have a question around volume. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 glasses or 10. I mean, obviously 10 glasses will have a much bigger impact on your neurosystem.
Right, but definitely. So what we've been doing is having more it was classic. My Bondi diet was
white liquor.
The spirits. Clear alcohol only and good food, and because I was always in a bikini, so I was have to keep it, fit and healthy. I say talking about. So we've been doing a lot of homemade martinis and little cocktails and things like that outside of popping a bottle of wine. Yeah. But even then, I was no, let's make that shift. So we've made the shift and. Classically Leonie style, I've gone gung-ho with it.
Has it made you check your relationship with alcohol too? Do you think post-Feb that you might have more periods of sobriety is perhaps the other way of putting it?
I don't think so. I mean, it's funny because as you know, March 1, I have a social event happening.
Can't wait. You're nearly there, mate. You're nearly there. Oh my God.
Let's get all the troops together and have a massive champagne showers, experience. Because I'm oh my gosh, I'll be itching at the bit to get to March 1. However, I do think because Monday to Thursday, we kind of had this rule at home. We don't really drink because we were finding we were.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do. Pop the wine. Okay. Oh, I've still got half a bottle. Have that the next day.
Finish it off.
Do you know?
That's lucky you have half a bottle of wine left over. That would not be left over in my house, let me tell you.
Right. On a good day, right? Half a bottle. But, and so then it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing for us. I'm happy for it to continue that way. I think we always had a good amount of moderation, obviously socially and things like that. But it was interesting, even speaking about socially, we had to carve out in our schedule, the people that we wanted to see either side of this month. Because some nights you're if I'm going to go for dinner with this group of people, I'd love to be at a nice restaurant and be able to have a glass of wine, whatever. And so we're we'll make sure that we do that in March or in Jan, in bookend. Because it is so much a part of our lifestyle.
I've been thinking about this a lot too. I haven't started, but one of you all know I love my New Year's resolutions. One of my New Year's resolutions is over the course of this year to have 12 weeks sober, to not drink, which for me, everybody, is massive. All of my friends are like, oh my goodness. But hey, you know me, there's a catch. I don't have to do a 12-week period in one block. It has to be a minimum of 2 weeks. So I've scheduled my first 2-week block. I mean, maybe I'll do 3, but I'm just going to start small achievable goals with a view of, that's why I asked my question around alcohol and whether it changed your habit, because I'm wanting to change a habit where, we drink a lot. We've definitely reined it back in 2025 because we're like, okay, towards the end of the year, we're spiraling out of control with it a little bit. A bottle, together, sharing it easy on a Thursday night. Yeah. Then Friday, and in my job, I have a lot of business development type meetings and client entertainment and work entertainment. I just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to drink anymore. So I'm trying to force some habits to see if it, makes me feel any different.
I think that's great, and so much more achievable, bite-sized chunks, right? I think if you try too much, for too long,
and there is a social change around alcohol too. Like the amount of low alcohol, no alcohol. Yes. You can go out and not drink anymore, and I've almost set myself that challenge of. You don't need to drink. Yeah. Like, you are fun. You don't have to have alcohol to change who you are or enhance who you are. Like, give it a go.
Do you know, I 100% agree, and I've had a few friends who I've been out with and they'll have their non-alcoholic wine or whatever it looks like because of their own health reasons. I think for me, the reason why I navigate to it is because, at the end of a week, you just want to relax and not overthink everything and sit back.
Do you know what that's called?
What?
Numbing.
Yeah.
So you pick up a glass of like a gin and tonic, which often I would, if I'm not having a glass of wine, I might just go have a gin and tonic. Yeah. And that term is numbing. Yes. So you're just, which I totally get. Because you're just like, just want to let go a little bit, and it does help because it is a depressant, so we do relax. So it's just about your relationship and understanding, and it's totally normal to do that. But understanding the why, and is there something else that you can do, and how regularly are you doing that?
Well, that's right. Putting parameters around it, which was a big part of our Monday.
Anyway, I don't think we intended to talk about alcohol, but it is such a topical.
Big time at the moment.
And obviously given what you're doing. So good for you. And I'll let you know how I go with my 2-week blocks.
So on the other front, well-being just in general, how are we going with exercise for you?
Well, everyone knows that I've wanted to run, and I've spoken about running a lot, and in 2024 I did my first 10K run. Yay! Which I was very pleased with myself.
I was so proud of you.
I also did 50 runs in 2024, and I've set myself a goal for 2025 to do 75 runs. Wow. How does that happen, and how did that happen? I joined like a little running group at work, and we just keep each other accountable. Okay. So the only stipulation is the run has to be a minimum of 3K. Yeah. And you just text the group and say, you add one to your tally effectively, and they all get around you and go, woo, good for you. Like, you don't need proof, you don't need to say how fast you went or how far you went. It's just that you did it. Yeah. And that has been the difference in the years that we've been doing this podcast, of me being like, I just want to do it, and not being able to do it, to being accountable to a group of people who know I have this goal, and now I do it, and I make it happen.
When do you do it?
I try to do one at lunchtime during the week, whether that's running from the office or if I'm working from home, do it then when the kids are at school. Yeah. And then I must do 2 on the weekend. That's how I typically do it. Now, if I'm drinking wine, and that's been the other thing, like if I've had a few wines on a Friday night, I'm less likely to do parkrun on Saturday morning, right? So it's really impacted the rest of my thinking about my own health. Yeah. And also alcohol, high risk of impacting cancer.
So many things. Like, we know this stuff.
We know this stuff. But I don't know, it's as you get older and you start to see people around you being impacted by other health conditions, you go, shit, you get one chance at this. You got to look after yourself and just check in, I guess. Yes. I mean, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to be sober anytime. Let's be real. But I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to have some presence of mind about it, I guess. Yes. I know you've been doing some other other stuff. You know, you
yes,
broaden out your health. So exercise.
I did. Okay, so then I found a friend of mine via Instagram was promoting this brand called The Collagen. They are not a sponsor, guys, and so this is literally me just telling you based on what she had put up. She basically had this. It was like a meal replacement sort of shake. It's a powder. You add water to it, and I was like, all right. Well, I've been wondering what to do in the mornings because I'm not a breakfast person. I do leave the house quite early, and I don't have the luxury of sitting down to eat breakfast because I'm often racing from one place to the other, construction side, this, that, and the other. I get home by lunchtime. I have a lunch. So these shakes have been amazing. I've been having one a morning, and I feel really good with them. So shout out to The Collagen. I also, you know me, again, if I'm going to do something, I do it to the nth degree. So I found these detox teas. So I've been having a detox tea.
I just imagine that to be like poo water. Like,
no, they're quite sweet.
Tasty.
They're like Chinese medicine ones, but they're quite good. They're quite sweet.
And it just flushes your system.
So I'll give you the brand. These, again, guys, these are just what I'm doing at home. They are not another detox tea is what I'm having, and they've got, and it's sort of like a 14-day program thing.
I'm happy to just give them an award for their name. Like, good, you have my attention.
Yes, and then also I've been taking this supplement called the 10th, and it's an award-winning supplement. It's basically to ease tiredness, to calm you down, to support hair and skin. I was finding my hair I've got a lot of hair, but it was breaking a lot, and I felt like I've noticed a difference since collagen similarly is meant to support nail, hair, etc. I have noticed a difference, and I wonder if it's just everything that I've been doing, but I do feel like there's less hair on the bathroom floor when I'm brushing it out.
You're selling me.
So I think a number of people I noticed were also using the 10th. So shout out to them. And it's a Melbourne mum who came up with it. So it's amazing. And these are all Aussie brands. So I'm all about that.
Autonomy.
Totally. All about it. So that's been really good. And then we always eat quite healthy, but it's also just, I guess, being conscious and maybe trying to throw in a vegetarian maybe once or twice a week rather than have it so much protein, just having a bit of a balance. I don't know.
It's just finding what works for you.
Meal prepping on a Saturday, all that sort of stuff. Being more vigilant around it. And hopefully, as you said, producing good habits, even around the meals, etc., that I'll then carry on as well.
That's all I could think. Good habits and presence of mind about what you're consuming, whether that's food, where it's coming from, and anything that you're putting in your body, which might not be making you feel as good as what you could be.
And when you're not feeling as good as what you could be, you have a shorter fuse, you're worse to live with than usual.
My skin just becomes shocking. Like, I break out like I'm a teenager easily. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you start to understand. Well, I wanted to understand, what am I putting in my system that is making me break out with all this acne? It's awful.
My thing is bloating. I'll often get that like pregnant belly bloat after having had perhaps too much wine, like that sugar. Sugar for me, I can just see it like whoop, my stomach just like explodes, and I'm like, that's awkward. Like, I can't even put on my my skirt without it popping out. Like, what is going on here? And I know it's not food, but then like the next day it will go down. But I feel so uncomfortable with a bloated stomach. So everyone's got their thing, right? And it's sort of channeling that and going, what is triggering my body to behave that way, rather than us ploughing along like we often do and prioritizing everything else in our lives,
and like falling into those bad habits of stopping meal prep and getting takeaway. But is there a healthier option on the takeaway? Like, we're busy mums, of course we're going to get takeaway. Like, you can't stop some of that stuff, right? But like, is there a healthier option? Anyway.
So anyway, I feel like this episode was our public service announcement for everyone to just check in.
Find a friend to be accountable to on running. Like, just your bestie. Like, they don't even have to run themselves, but just find someone. That, like, honestly, it's been game changing for me. I feel so much better.
Yes.
And I'm like kind of proud of myself and happy to have a humble brag that I never imagined that. Like, I'm not a runner, but like in my late 30s, I've turned into a runner. You can do anything, girls.
Totally. And it's funny you say that. I told so many people about Feb-fast that it's like, when you tell people, you just then have to do it.
It's a mindset accountability. There is proven theory to all of that. So let's 100%. Do it.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.